Hi Obi, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. So, we've got your results back here, and your CT scan was clear, but your MRI has shown lesions. So, using this information in combination with the symptoms you've been experiencing, we've actually come to the conclusion that you have multiple sclerosis. So, do you know anything about MS?
What is it?
Well, it's an autoimmune disease of the central nervous system, and it disrupts the connection between the brain and the rest of the body. And it's estimated to affect 1 to 2 million people worldwide. The age of onset is typically between 20 and 40 years old, with women being affected twice as frequently as men.
Okay, so what does that do?
Well, your central nervous system is made up of your brain and your spinal column. The nerves in the rest of the body are called the peripheral nervous system. Your brain is the main command center of the body, and it sends orders that travel through the spinal cord through the peripheral nerves. The cells of the brain and nerves are called neurons. Here, let me show you. Each neuron has a body and an axon. Axons are long fibers that are similar to electrical wires. Neurons communicate with each other by sending electrical signals through these axons. Myelin, an insulating material made up of fats and proteins, covers the axons. Myelin is created by oligodendrocytes. Myelin improves the conduction of the electrical current and communication between neurons. In multiple sclerosis, the myelin in certain parts of the brain, spinal cord, and central nervous system is destroyed. Currently, the cause of this is unknown, but research has shown it may be an immune response to a protein in the central nervous system. Right now, there is no cure for multiple sclerosis.
The doctor told me that he just let you know about your diagnosis of MS. How are you feeling?
Yes, I'm scared and confused.
Yeah.
So what is multiple sclerosis going to do to me?
The symptoms of MS depend on which nerves are being affected. The most common symptoms of multiple sclerosis, or MS, it's commonly referred to, are fatigue, numbness, tingling or burning in the face, ranging from annoying to severe. There is one symptom called the Lermedi sign. It's an electrical shock-like tingling that goes down the back and onto the legs, produced by flexion of the neck.
Okay.
Some other symptoms can be blurry eyes, abnormal gait, bladder and sexual dysfunction, vertigo, and speech disturbances.
How bad is my multiple sclerosis?
Well, there are 4 different categories of multiple sclerosis, or stages of it. Relapsing remitting, secondary progression, primary progression, and progressive relapsing. Your multiple sclerosis right now is in the form of relapsing remitting, which means that you will have episodes of acute worsening with recovery and stable course between relapses. So you might have symptoms and then have a period without any symptoms. Since you are minimally affected by MS right now, you don't require any specific treatment. All we want you to do for now is take vitamin D supplements, which could help with lessening the increase in symptoms. Maintain a healthy lifestyle by getting lots of rest and relaxation, eating a nutritious diet, avoid emotional stress and extreme temperatures. Recent research shows that high levels of vitamin D can reduce the risk of developing MS, and that those with higher levels of vitamin D in the early stages of MS have better outcomes during 5 years of follow-up. Genes are thought to be a predictor or linked to multiple sclerosis. Changes in the HLA-DRB1 gene are the strongest genetic risk factors for developing MS. HLA-DRB1 belongs to a family of genes called human leukocyte antigen complex. The HLA complex helps the immune system distinguish the body's own proteins to that of an invader, such as bacteria or a virus.
In relation to the key concepts, homeostasis is affected because there is disrupted motor function and erratic conduction of the action potentials due to the destruction of myelin sheaths in the brain and the spinal cord. The cell membrane of oligodendrocytes is also being disrupted, and the blood-brain barrier is held together by proteins, which are compromised in MS. The HLA complex is a protein that helps distinguish between the body's proteins and the proteins of an
In
invader.
summary, multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease in which inflammation plays a key role. The blood-brain barrier becomes leaky, and immune cells, such as T lymphocytes, are able to cross the blood-brain barrier. They do not recognize the oligodendrocyte cells of the central nervous system in the brain and the spinal cord, and they begin to destroy them. The process starts with inflammation. Then the cells cross the blood-brain barrier, and B cells cross auto antibodies.